no words, no feeling, no sentiment that can describe the sensation of pride. And I'm not talking about any sort of pride, but the pride that you feel so strongly when you accomplish something. When you look in the mirror and say, I did it. I did it. There is no such power. And that strength you possess in those rare moments crosses all limits of joy. You are the one who did something. You sacrificed something. And eventually you achieved something no one will ever be strong enough to take away from you. And yet I feel no pride that I'm standing here right now, facing probably one of my biggest fears on this stage. Oddly enough, I feel quite scared. Okay, no, terrified actually. Because right now, anything and everything could go wrong. I can stop talking, or I can run away right now, and chances are I will be so afraid I won't even realize it, nor think of the consequences. But then again, right now, I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose. I repeat this in my head a couple of times, and it becomes true. Sure, I will probably earn some deprecating looks, a few ironical words, but that's about the worst that could happen. So what exactly do I have to lose, now or anytime, in order to feel like I am the one in control of myself? To prove myself to myself. Right now, I don't expect much. And before we start, I have this amazing quote which I would like to share with you. It goes like this. Only when good things start slipping through your fingers do you learn the savor of nice things against your palm. I read it years ago, and I carried it with me ever since. It would be amazing if it would stick with you too. And for now, I only ask for about 15 minutes of your time, and by the end, I promise you it will be worth it. And to start us off, I would like each and every one of you to close their eyes. Really. And now, I want you to form a deep connection with your inner self and try to grasp the meaning of a prize. Any kind of prize. Actually, the first one that comes to mind. And now, please open your eyes. Let me explain what I thought about and how my perception will intercept with your ideals and the expectations of my speech. It will show you how different all of us are and how important that is in our lives, in our thoughts, and in our emotions. So then I thought about my family, how my mom is always the best listener in the world, and how I want to make her happy, make her be proud of me. Because every single time I glance at her, even now in the audience, I can see in her kind eyes that she really wishes for me to find true happiness. And then I thought about my dad, who tries every single day to give me the best advice that thousands would only wish to hear once in their lifetime. And I want to make him understand that I am trying my hardest. It's just that sometimes I see things in a very opposite, twisted way. And I think of young Sarah. Young Sarah who dreams to visit faraway places, experience the best life has to offer. And most importantly, young Sarah wants to be proud of herself. Just like I'm sure each and every single one of you here do. And I am here to show you, and me, that it is absolutely possible. You just have to do it yourself. This is the source of my happiness. This is where my mind goes when it feels safe. This is the prize I yearn to feel the true sensation of. And do you know why? Because it never lasts. And that is what makes it so addictive, so controlling of my consciousness. We may not be able to decide who we are born as, but it is our life's journey to reach this unique state that makes all of us connected to felicity. But I'm also totally aware that the prize that I'm describing to you right now, it comes in different shapes, sizes, materials, colors, and so on. And I have thought for many more times than I care to admit that this prize which I should be focused on achieving is an item, a simple item. And that specific item, which changes from week to week, from day to day, is the golden prize placed highly on a pedestal, countless giant steps awaiting should I dare to be brave enough to achieve it. Sometimes I dared, and sometimes I didn't. Not even today do I know what exactly triggered my decisions. So maybe when you closed your eyes earlier, you saw material things, something you could touch. And I'm not saying there's something wrong with that. Because having something to work towards achieving and having enough ambition not to give up that road alone, no matter the obstacles that may arise, that is reason enough to be more than happy with yourself. Because no matter the goal, we are the ones who put in the very best of us to achieve it. But also, let me tell you something now. Let's say you are working to get this specific object which you saw during one of your vacations. You come home one day from school or from work, and you say to yourself, or your parents, because us students, we're not financially independent, I want this item right here, and I'm willing to compromise what is in my power to try to obtain it. You work for it, you get it, and you are happy. But this happiness, this specific happiness, is the most relative sentiment you would have known in your whole life. Why? Because it almost always depends on people around you, on things you own, on your choice of clothes, financial situation, anything that others get to determine and you get to feel the weight of. So to clarify, we buy these expensive items to create an illusion, an irrationality, a sense of self-esteem and accomplishment, a fake sense of pride we want to see that we have reached. Proud you reached that standard. Proud you are now a wealthy person who needs to be respected for her or for his objects. That is why we really yearn for these things. And this is your perception of happiness. The happiness that you feel so strongly when you open the box, when you look in the mirror, when you show it off to all of your astonished friends. But at the end of the day, you will eventually come back home. And that happiness that has been following you around all day, it will slip off your back at the doorway, just like an unwanted guest. And you will feel empty again. You will feel powerless again. And you will feel like you lost your purpose yet again. You feel annoyed at yourself, of course. You don't understand where this pride you felt so strongly 2 days ago when you bought that object went. Let me tell you where it all went. Nowhere. Because it was never there to begin with. It was all an illusion. All something you chose to create inside your head to make you feel better about yourself, about who you really are. So why let expensive, priceless, opulent things define who you are? Or more importantly, define how you choose to feel. You may have paid a huge sum of money to get your hands on that specific object. But what you really lost, except those money, was a part of yourself. Because every time you wear it, you feel glamorous. You feel alluring. And because every time you place it back into your wardrobe, you feel obliterated. You feel hopeless. You have sold the power, the control over your feelings, the moment you have set the money on the counter. You may not realize this now. You're probably thinking, she's definitely exaggerating. And that's fine, because I don't expect any of you to embrace this thought right away. But when one day you will put that bracelet back into its ostentatious red box, you will remember how I stood here today before you and told you that it will feel like it's taken part of your joy away. You store it away alongside your satisfaction, cautiously preserving it until you will wear it next time. But let's face it, it's never going to be the same as the first time you've worn it. I'm telling you now, it's not worth it. That is, letting the things you admire define who you are. It's the same with people, actually. Oh my God, I want to be just like her when I grow up. You've probably said that countless of times growing up, just as I did too. I would idolatrize people that I saw on social media or maybe on TV, and then I would sit up at night wishing I never knew who they were, because I never felt as miserable as when I compared my own life with their on-screen bewitching fairy tales, which are fake. Off-screen, we are all equal. This is a specific kind of pain which you choose to impose upon yourself. You watched that girl last Friday on your computer. You saw her flawless lifestyle, her perfect appearance, her designer clothing, expensive items, and instantly felt inclined to keep watching. When you consume all of her videos, her images, her media, you say to yourself, hey, I want to do whatever she's doing. She seems happy. I also want to be this kind of happy. So there goes your pride, and there goes your self-esteem. Until I reach that exact standard she portrays, I refuse to be content with myself. Again, this is the part where you lose control. And you will only regain control when you realize that this standard, which you are focused on achieving, does not exist. And now I will say something about myself. I lost my grandmother 2 years ago and my grandfather like 3 months ago. I'm telling you this because just as some of us feel like losing your fortune will make you lose yourself, I felt like losing my grandparents made me lose who I thought I was. And life has made me realize a couple of things in the process. A few things that I know for sure. My name is Sara. I'm 15. I'm in high school. I have a sister, a dog, a few lovely friends, and I lost two of the people I loved most in this world. My two anchors. I know that I have to get myself back together pretty soon. And I have to figure out, what do I do with my life? That's it. That's all I know. And I know that my life is my journey to my prize. So then this thing, having to know myself without my grandparents around me, always there behind me, watching me, giving me advice on insignificant problems, absolutely horrifies me. And I'm still paying this price. I paid it yesterday, I paid it today, and I will pay it tomorrow. Without being aware of it. Until I will finally break free from my past and embrace what is to be my future. All of us are connected to something, be it physical or spiritual. And letting it go is the price you have to pay. Because only you and you alone will be able to determine once and for all your prize. This prize that I'm talking about, does it exist? I don't know. Is it worth finding it, or should I say paying for it? I also don't know. But I cannot live anymore in this haze, knowing that there is something at the back of my mind tugging at my confidence, at my self-esteem, and refusing to let me unleash the full of my potential. So are you willing to pay this price? Are you willing to sacrifice the bricks that built the basis of your life in order to find its meaning, its shape, its structure? Right now, I am just a voice representing the thoughts that cross your mind every now and then. This is the prize you have to work for. And the thing is, you are not the one who determines the price you will have to pay. Are you willing to break free from every single thing that you thought defined you up until this point? Good things, bad things, your past will tie your hand behind your back and it will keep you locked in handcuffs. You are not your idol, nor are you your material possessions. Who are you when there is no one to listen to your problem and nothing to buy to soothe your misery? I am standing here today in front of you, telling you honestly, there is a prize worth living for inside each of us. You cannot tell me I'm wrong. It's just that living in ignorance of its absence will only increase the amount you bid for its eventual discovery. My advice is do it. Take that chance of understanding who you are. Life is cruel, yes, I know, but she can also be the sweetest gift. In a world governed by social expectations, learn to create your own definition. Who knows if this opportunity will ever cross your path again. And now to finish us off, a few days ago, my physics teacher, Mr. Gabriel, he told me that scientifically, life has no meaning. And I went home that day, and I thought about what he said, and I came to the conclusion that scientifically, yes, life has no meaning. Life only has meaning if you choose to give it a meaning. So do it. Do it. Change yourself, change your world, and you will change the world. Thank you.
Thank